Welcome to the Work Hard, Play Hard podcast. My name is Rob Murgatroyd, and I am a former doctor turned lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I interview some of the best minds on the planet on the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment. Today's episode is a mini-sode that we call Fri-Date with the Wife. In these mini-sodes, my wife Kim and I deconstruct the strategies that we've developed over the last decade to not only grow personally, but to turn our struggles into lessons and create fulfillment in all areas of our lives. Excuses are over. It's time to live. Let's dig into today's topic. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition. Well, actually, it's not another edition. It's the first edition of what we decided long and hard in the last 7 seconds to actually name. What is it? Fri-Date car edition?
Yeah, Fri-Date in traffic. So we are in traffic trying to get home to record Fri-Date, and we're running out of time. So we just decided to give this a go.
You see how smooth and calm she is about this? I am so upset that the microphone isn't here, that I haven't done my makeup. I mean, this is not easy for me, but I'm going to go ahead and do this because we have no episode for tomorrow. And it's due tomorrow. So Fri-Date for us is sometimes Thursday, and today is Thursday. So here we go. What do you want to talk about today, my dear?
All right. Today, we are going to talk about how do you know when it's time to take the leap? You know, the big leap to the next stage, the next chapter of your life.
Now, when you ask me that question, do you mean, give me an example of a leap that somebody would take to the next level? Do you mean career-wise, or do you mean personally, or what? Which?
I think in this case, I'm talking about career because, and I don't mean necessarily always shifting your career. So, for example, with our previous, company, Jet Set Life, we get a lot of people that will ask us. They'll say, "You guys were everywhere in 2006. You guys were, we had a podcast. For those that don't know, we had a company called Jet Set Life. We had a podcast. We produced our own travel shows." Now, mind you, this was long before, Instagram influencers or any of cameras weren't even on your phone. Okay. So we came into a place with camera equipment and produced. There was no, simple way to do it in 2 clicks of an app. And we had this company, but we never took the leap. People ask us, they're like, "You were everywhere and then nowhere." And the reality is we just never took the risk, took the leap, took the chance. And that's where we are today in our life. Rob, we were just talking about you're building this mastermind. So you got Work Hard, Play Hard. You got this podcast. Well, that is so in your comfort zone. And we've never really taken a leap outside our comfort zone, really outside it, other than when we took the leap into network marketing. That worked out really well. So now you're taking this leap into your mastermind. And it's such a big leap that we're also going to be closing our primary, clinic, our office, our brick and mortar business, and moving into this whole second phase all at the same time. So I guess in a really long-winded way, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. So I'm trying to put this into words because right now it's just a lot of emotion because there's so much swirling around me. I think if we're trying to answer the question of when do you know is the time for the leap, I don't know that you're ever really going to know. It's kind of like asking you when is the right time to have kids. Do you know what I mean?
There's never a good time.
There's never a good time, but you just have the kid or kids and you figure it out. So that would be my first answer. If you're thinking that you want to do something else, you're just not sure when, don't wait until all of your ducks are in a row. And by the way, I don't even know what that means because I've never seen any duck in a row. And maybe that's what it means. I don't know. But
well, you also grew up in Queens.
There wasn't a lot of ducks.
There wasn't a whole lot of ducks going around.
No.
But so what you said on our drive this morning, I thought was really good. So maybe you can kind of talk about that, where when you just take one step outside your comfort zone, you may not know all of the steps, but if you take one, the second step's going to eventually show up.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of times people will, come to me and they'll be like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, where do I even start this? And the shortest answer I can give you is you probably know where step one is. Like, you don't know exactly, but you have an idea of what step one is. And once you get into step one, then step two reveals itself. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times when you start step one, you can't even write out step 2, 3, 4, and 5, because when you do step one, step two changes. Yeah. So you have to do step one, allow it to reveal itself, and then go to step two, and then go to step three. So I think sometimes, in trying to, push this metaphor, in trying to get all your ducks in a row, you'll never be able to plot out the next year of what your next move is, because it's an ever-changing target. So that would be my first piece of advice. My second piece of advice would be to recognize that you don't want to quit your day job. So whatever your day job is right now that's providing the primary source of income, I think you need to moonlight with what your next step is until you don't have to.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, okay? Because a lot of people, the world that I feel like we live in now is so many people have, they're sick of buying into you go to college, you get a job, you work until you're 65 or 72 or whatever it is, and then you just move on, in life and retirement. People are really wanting to do what they're passionate about and craving it more and more. So I'm seeing lots of people that want to exit that first, that primary job, like you said, to move into their passion project. And I think we are a great example of this because we have been trying to exit our primary business since 2006. Okay. So it's a 12-year exit strategy. But like I said before, we never were willing really to put ourselves out there in a way that made us slightly uncomfortable until now. And I think that for us, we needed some security. So I think you have to look at, what's your situation? Are you, 25 and you don't have like the family, the kids and all of that, the demands on you that maybe someone like we already had children and a family, and there's a lot more moving parts when you're talking about taking the big risk. You see people, they're like, I quit my job. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. Well, that wouldn't work for us. Like, we still have to function as a family. So I think you have to take note of where you are in your life and what you're willing to risk to get the reward. I think that's the first thing. And the second thing is, personally, what we did was we had a vision of what we wanted in our life. And then we found a way to fund that vision. Very 4-hour work week back in the day. The original 4-hour work week. How much money do you need to live your dream life? Work it backwards. What can you do to create that income? And what we wanted was to have a location independent life and freedom. And our network marketing company allowed us to create that income now over the last 3 years, that we're able to let go of business number one. We're able to exit Rob's 25-year career in our brick and mortar business using network marketing. Now, is that Rob's passion? No, it's not. It actually has turned into my passion. I love doing this business. It's amazing for me. But Rob's passion truly is in work hard, play hard. So I think that sometimes people try to exit their career directly into their passion. And I think in our case, what we did was really smart. We built a residual income to allow you to exit that career and live your passion. So your passion doesn't necessarily have to be your paycheck right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think the other point number 3, let's call it, is the opposite of point number 2, which is to have a deadline that you get out of. So,
do you want to share your deadline?
Yeah, I do. You don't want to quit your job. But at the same time, if you don't have some deadline that's going to get you out of where you are, then you're just going to be in it like I was for 12 years. So which deadline did you want me to share? Because I have 2. I have one deadline which is for the mastermind, and then they have another deadline.
Well, the deadline that's actually getting you out of your career is what did we finally do? We live in a high rise. We lease a condo in a high rise. And so what did we do this year that was different?
Well, we made a decision that we were going to be out of where we're currently living on June 30th.
Yeah.
And we take our annual trip to Greece for the month of July. So we are literally going to be homeless for the month of July, put all of our stuff in storage, and go from Greece directly to the second part of our life, which is living in California. So that is, like, as I'm saying it, I'm choking over my words because I'm trying to figure out where the hell my hair products are going to be while I'm making this move. I mean, this is not going to be easy, but we're setting the deadline and we're going to do it, right?
Yes, because we've gone too many years where we're like, okay, in 2 years we'll move to California. In 2 years we'll move to California. And finally our lease came due, and instead of signing the 18-month lease, I said, what if we just sign a 10-month lease and be done with it and say we're moving in August, come hell or high water, and we have a plan in place to exit, fully our first business and continue growing our network marketing business as big as possible, and let you go on and live your passion in building work hard, play hard in this mastermind.
So there you have it. Whatever it is that you're trying to work on for yourself, if you have your next step in mind, just make sure that you don't quit your day job, simultaneously have a deadline for when you are going to quit your day job, and allow the steps to reveal themselves one at a time. That's it for this car edition. Have a great week, everybody. All right, thanks for listening. If you love this episode and you know someone that needs some help in either stepping up their work hard game or their play hard game, it would mean the world to me if you shared this podcast with them to help me get this movement out there. So if you like what you heard, head on over to iTunes, take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review, and I will be forever grateful. So until the next episode, excuses are over. It's time to live.